Tonight on News 5 Live, the KHMH hits COVID ward capacity. Will they have enough staff for more cases? Family rounded up after birthday party claims police harassment. Protests continue over laddie Gillett shooting, and Jasmine Horton appears in family court. These stories and more coming up next on News 5 Live.
It's a fact that with Smart, you get truly unlimited everything. Only with Smart, you get unlimited data anytime. While with the other guy, it's only double data on weekends. With unlimited data every day with Smart, there's no need to wait. So, it's a fact that our unlimited plans beat the competition. Stop being measured and told when to use your data and get unlimited talk, text, and data. Experience the true unlimited plans with Smart. That's a fact. Make the switch and live smart.
Infinite Health presents Common Sense Herbs, everything your body needs, and are all natural, dairy-free, non-GMO, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and are FDA monitored. Everything your body needs. Distributor in Belize, Infinite Health, Birdseye, Belize City. Telephone number 613-1914. That's 613-1914.
For the best built tools with the best performance and service, Hilti is the brand you can trust. Our warranty program is second to none. Hilti will repair or replace any tool that breaks as a result of materials or manufacturing defects for 20 years. Get 2 years of no-cost wear and tear coverage, including parts. Hilti, the best tools with the best coverage. Available at Benny's Quality and Savings.
It's time to put your TVs on lockdown. COVID won't stop us this time. After a year of waiting, Summerfest is back, pandemic style. If you're under the age of 18 and you think you have the talent, we are looking for you. Submit videos to us on Facebook, Instagram, and email. Or join us here at Channel 5 on Coney Drive to audition from July 26th to 30th from 10 a.m. to midday. Be a part of Summerfest 2021 and show Belize your talent. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, July 20th. I am Sabrina Daly. Today, the Vindel family in Lordsbank Village made a shocking discovery a short distance away from where they lived. The body of Vilma Vindel Elias, a mother of 3, was found in a bushy spot in an area known as Spanish Town off the Old Well Road in the village. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
About a month ago, Vilma Vindel Elias and her 3 children relocated from Belize City to the Old Well Road area in Lordsbank Village. There they lived with her father and in proximity to her sister. Just after 9 p.m. on Monday, as Elias left her sister's house en route to her dad's, she was attacked. Reports to News 5 is that evidence recovered from the scene suggests that she had been sexually violated before she was killed. This morning, her body was found by her family, who went searching for her after she did not return home.
Yo no sé qué es lo que pasó, solo que hoy en la mañana la encontramos muerta porque ella no vino anoche acá. Después de las 9:30 y ella, que siempre venía, no vino. Pero pensé que mi hija que trabaja en Belice, ella se había quedado, tal vez ella no había venido, Ana no había venido y ella se había quedado con los niños de ella por allá. Hasta ahora en la mañana, 7, 8, que ya los dimos cuenta, porque empezamos a averiguar, a investigar, y fue cuando la encontramos ya muerta.
Police were called in, and according to an official report, responding officers observed the body with an apparent open wound above the right eye. The 39-year-old was found in an area she used daily to walk home.
Pues se cortó, y ahora, pues, Dios sabrá lo que tenga que hacer.
¿Qué están diciendo las autoridades?
Pues se me prometieron hacer lo posible de aclarar el asunto. Eso espero. Y si no, mi Dios lo va a aclarar. Él va. Para Él no hay nada oculto. Del cielo a la tierra no hay nada oculto. No hay escondite que no haya de ser manifestado, ni oculto que no haya de salir a luz. Los maleantes piensan que hacen las cosas en oscura, pero un momento van a salir a luz.
Jose Jacobo Vindel and other residents say that for years there has been no light in the area, and this incident has shattered their sense of security.
Los postes, algunos postes solo están y otros ni alambrado hay parejo. No sé, el descuido de las autoridades, no sé, tal vez no ha habido reclamo, pero la verdad que no. Hasta ahí llega la posteadura, hasta allí nomás, y ahí para allá las demás casas están en tinieblas. Y entonces el maleante pues aprovecha la oscuridad, ¿va? Porque el maleante se cubre con las tinieblas. Y yo siempre les dije desde antes, no estoy contra la mascarilla, yo sé que es una protección para todos, pero yo les dije a mis hijos y a varios, ¿saben qué? Esa mascarilla para el criminal es una protección. Otra cosa, la autoridad está bien, la mascarilla es pequeña, pero han permitido esa mascarilla que se cubren todo, ¿saben? Eso los protege a ellos más bien. Ahí es donde debe estar la autoridad con eso, de eliminar esa, está bien la mascarilla correcta, pero no ese gran trapo que se pone. Se ponen un gran trapo, se cubren la cabeza que ni las cámaras lo identifican bien, porque ellos mismos se protegen con esa cosa. Y ahí es donde está el error de la autoridad, que había de ver todas esas cosas.
Elias leaves behind 2 daughters and a son, ages 15, 8, and 2. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Elias's cell phone with number 6016513 was stolen. Anyone with information is asked to contact the nearest police station or Crime Stoppers Belize. Police are continuing to crack down on illegal gatherings, but on Monday night, videos began to circulate of a confrontation with police in Belize City that turned ugly. This morning, News 5's Isani Cayetano visited the area to find out more.
61-year-old Norris Main Sr. was wrapping up a birthday celebration with his sons and other members of his family on Monday night when a team of police officers showed up at their property. It happened here in Queen Charlotte Street, where the father of 7 was getting ready to call it a night. What he did not know was that the encounter with law enforcement would quickly become a violent melee, with shots being fired.
We were already preparing to disperse at about minutes to 9, because we closed the establishment from 8:30. And the police came, and I approached the commanding officer, Mr. Martinez, and explained to him that we are having a celebration of the birthday of my son, and we are preparing to disperse. And he looked at me and he looked at everybody and he said, he don't like how I'm speaking to him. So I asked him, how do you want me to speak to you? How could I, what I'm explaining to you what is happening? And he turned away and he told me that he's going to arrest everybody for a social gathering.
The officers who were under Martinez's command were then instructed to round up several young men, including Romario Main and Dylan Belial, who were also present at the residence.
They arrested my son and placed him in the vehicle. When he was sitting in the vehicle, they were bringing his cousin to put him in the vehicle, but an officer started to choke my son from behind, and the cousin that they were putting in the vehicle started to retaliate. He refused to go in the vehicle when he saw what was happening. I guess he got agitated and think that when he get in the vehicle, they will do him the same.
That's when Belial began to resist arrest, and a physical confrontation ensued. He had already been placed in the pan of the pickup truck when other officers got involved in a scuffle. According to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, his men came under attack by an angry crowd and they were forced to fire warning shots.
The police officers were being attacked by a mob. The police fired 2 warning shots to get the mob off. What must they do?
In recounting what transpired, Main, a fisherman who lives across the street from his place of business, told the media this morning that what took place last night is the result of constant police harassment.
At the time, I was being accosted by Mr. Martinez, and he was telling me he was going to arrest me, and I was asking him for what? And I myself got annoyed, and I explained to him that I am tired of him coming to my residence and my place of business and harassing my children and abusing them. And I got so annoyed that he reversed from in front of me, and I walked away and locked myself in my business. And they pepper sprayed the guys in the vehicle, and they took off with them. Now, for them to come and say that we attacked them and we were throwing missiles at them is outrageous. They're trying to cover up their blatant act of abuse.
Admittedly, Main agrees that there are times when the location is busy with people who work and also recreate there.
I am still at a loss of why every time they come here, well, it looks like a crowd because I have 7 sons. And I will agree that sometimes they have some of their friends with them or people that work with us that dive with us. So you will see like 15, 20 youth sometime in this yard. But what they are doing, they are working. They're building lobster shed, repairing their boat, and getting ready to go to sea. Sometimes they are recreating, I will agree. But they don't annoy or give nobody no problem.
The harassment, he says, is unrelenting. A few days ago, another of Main's son had a violent run-in with police officers who fractured his ribs.
When this incident occurred last night, I am still at a loss because they took them down to the station. I still don't know what they charged them for. My son, my cousin, and his son. I have my next son upstairs with a broken ribs that 2 days ago, the police came right here and arrested him from here. And when they took him in the vehicle, they start beating him and they fractured his ribs.
According to the patriarch, he believes that the department is trying to make a connection between his sons and their crosstown relatives on Bannock Street. Although they are all Mains, his sons, he says, are not involved in gang activity. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Across the nation, protesters are calling for the police officer who was allegedly behind the shooting death of 14-year-old laddie Gillett to be jailed and charged with murder. Every night for the past 5 days, there have been protests and candle vigils for the slain teen. Tonight, News 5's Paul Lopez takes a look at those cries for justice and why the Commissioner of Police says that a manslaughter charge is actually the strongest charge that can be levied against the accused officer.
But keep in mind, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on.
In Placencia Village on Sunday night, angry protesters called for Corporal Kareem Martinez to be jailed, referring to the shooting death of laddie Gillett as murder. This view is being shared by many people across the nation as protests continue in other parts of the country.
It is what it is, that murder, in my opinion, and he have to pay the penalty, man.
What is this with manslaughter by negligence? This child was shot in the back. This child was shot in the back.
Yeah, I bring out a new tracks, dog. This one went hard, dog. Stick, I can't mess with me, dog. It's going hard. Tell the wind for the side me, dog. Yeah.
Please don't shoot, I'm just a youth. Lift my voice, me not go mute. Is that a uniform or a suit? One thing them can't do is fight the truth. I got friends and family who love me. Don't you think that they are gonna miss me?
On his latest podcast episode, Brent's 2 Cents, Brent Toombs tackled the issue of justice for laddie in a system he says enables and protects bad cops.
Maybe if there'd been justice for Allison Major Jr. 2 years ago, we wouldn't be crying for justice for laddie Gillett today. Maybe if the cop who shot Stephen Buckley in the face had been tried for his action instead of getting promoted, other officers might hesitate to shoot first and ask questions later. Maybe if those two animals who tortured and beat an 18-year-old to death while in police custody had received more than a slap on the wrist, maybe we would have fewer candlelight vigils, and maybe we'd have just a little bit more respect for law enforcement in Belize.
The world will remember your name well. You were sent from above. Forever we love. Please don't shoot, I'm just a youth. Lift my voice, me not go mute. Is that a uniform or a suit? One thing them can't do is fight the truth. I got friends and family who love me. Don't you think that they are gonna miss me? I was so young, I had a bright future. I was running away, so why you had to shoot for? Together we
I would like to believe that this is the start of something great, and that manslaughter will not be what he was charged with. He has been charged with murder, bro. He murdered Buddy.
From the time he picked up this gun and aim out of this kid here and pull the trigger, I mean, that was intentional. Don't tell me that is not intentional.
But this morning, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told the host of Open Your Eyes morning show that from his professional perspective, manslaughter is the strongest charge that could have been levied against Corporal Martinez by the Director of Public Prosecutions.
The truth is, the young man ought not to have been killed. The police officer ought not to have pulled a weapon, but it happened. We have to deal with the consequence of it now. How can we say that this police officer came on duty 4 p.m. that evening with intent to kill Ladin? How could we arrive at that?
Commissioner Williams says he supports the ongoing protests as long as they remain peaceful.
Let me state categorically that we support the protest. We only ask that the protests be done in a peaceful manner and that those who may have some criminal intent may not use the opportunity of protest to go and commit whatever act they may intend to commit, particularly against police officers.
There have been no reports of violent acts during any of the demonstrations over the last 5 days. People will continue to come out across the country tonight, including the community where Laddie Gillett was raised in the Coyote district by his adoptive aunt.
I feel like the higher authority, they were the ones that were supposed to do things differently, so that the charge would not have been simply manslaughter, which is the lowest in the criminal charge. And I feel like they're the ones that failed us miserably.
Please don't shoot, I'm just a youth. Lift my voice, me not go mute. Is that a uniform or a suit? One thing them can't do is fight the truth.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
A medical certificate has been issued on the cause of death of Laddie Gillett. It reveals he died as a result of, quote, a single perforating gunshot wound to the chest, unquote. A family member told News 5 this evening that they confirmed that the wording of the cause of death is accurate. The term perforating refers to the fact that the bullet passed completely through Laddie's body. In this case, the bullet exited through his chest. As for the ongoing protest, Laddie Gillett's aunt, Sharon Main, says the family is thankful for the outpouring support from across the country.
It's amazing. I cannot thank the country enough for standing with us for justice for my little Laddie. It's just amazing. I was telling my family, my sisters, my mom, I said, Laddie's a person that loved attention and he would do anything to get attention from us. And so with all this attention on the media about him, he's probably looking down on us and saying, oh my goodness, all that is for me. And but it's just an outpour of support that we've been getting from all over the country for justice for Laddie, and I can't thank the country enough for not just kicking this under the table, but they're coming forth and letting their voice be heard, and let the country know, let the police department know that we're not just going to leave this.
Today, Canadian national Jasmine Horton was back before a judge with 2 new lawyers. But it wasn't for the manslaughter by negligence charge before the Supreme Court. Instead, she was 3 blocks away, appearing in the Belize family court as a custody case for her 4-year-old twins begins. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Jasmine Horton and Andra Ashcroft appeared in the Belize family court this morning as the case began for custody of their twins. After about an hour and a half and in the company of their attorneys, they came down the steps of the building. Representing Horton in the case are attorneys Leroy Banner and Wendy Oxaloo.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say, but that was a very, in my opinion, very unfair outcome. But I don't think I can speak right now.
This is a matter that involves children, and because it involves children, we have to take every care not to make spurious comments and allegations in the best interest of the children. So my client intends to act very maturely and not discuss the custody issues until there's a resolution at some point.
An interim ruling was made by the judge to grant custody of the children to Andrew Ashcroft until the substantive matter is dealt with. Today, Ashcroft did not entertain any questions and was escorted into a Mercury Mariner SUV, which drove away from the court following the proceedings. His attorney is Roberta Usher.
No comment right now. You know these are sensitive matters.
Yeah, but
let the court do what it has to do.
Was a decision made today?
Yes.
Can you tell us at least what that preliminary decision was?
Does Mr. Andrew retain custody for now?
Yes, he does.
That's interim custody though?
That's interim custody. And I will speak to you after the matter is finished.
So what is the next step?
The matter has been adjourned to another date, which I don't want to give. I'm hesitant to give because we don't want it to become a media frenzy. Yeah. It's a matter that involves children. We have to take every care.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Coming up, all of the COVID-19 cases at the KHMH have one thing in common. Chairman Andra Sosa will tell you what when we come back.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, He said unto me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the darkness? Each at the shrine of his own idol. They say, the Lord does not see us. A burglar broke into a house one night and shined his flashlight around looking for valuables. He saw this CD player and reached down to pick it up. When he heard this strange, disembodied voice saying, Jesus is watching you, he nearly jumped out of his skin. He quickly turned his flashlight off and froze. When he heard nothing, he sought to disconnect the wires from the stereo, and again he heard this voice say, Jesus is watching you. Freaked out, he turned his flashlight toward the voice, frantically searching for the source. There in the corner, his light rested upon a parrot. Did you say that? He hissed at the parrot. Yep, the parrot confessed, then squawked, I'm just trying to warn you. The burglar relaxed. Warn me, huh? Who in the world are you? Moses, replied the bird. Moses, the burglar laughed. What kind of a people would name a bird Moses? The parrot responded, the kind of people that would name a Rottweiler Jesus. Some of the servants in the temple at Jerusalem became engaged in wicked acts of darkness and the worship even of pornographic images and idols. Their defense was, the Lord does not see us. The Bible says the eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. So be careful what you do. Jesus is watching you. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
So I'm going to wonder if by chance I could get your number. Digit. Nice.
Of course, you have digital, right?
Yeah, of course.
The truth is, your credit lasts way longer with Digi. Like if you top off with like $30, that could last you 90 days. With the other guys, that must say 60. Then with the other guys, you have to use all of your good prime credit before you even touch your bonus credit. But with Digi, you could use your bonus credit before you even touch your prime credit. Like, what are the point to have free credit if you can't use it how you want? So, what are your number?
Just give me one moment.
The truth is, only Digi offers nationwide LTE coverage, fastest mobile data speeds, and the best call quality.
Life can be tough when a loved one suddenly departs. Dependents of the deceased are sometimes left alone to pick up the pieces and may be stranded financially. Fortunately, the Social Security Board provides survivor's benefit to ease the burden. Survivor's benefit is paid to a widow or widower, children under 18 years, or up to 21 years if attending school, or dependent parents. A survivor's benefit can be either a grant or a pension. Want to know more about survivor's benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Andrea Polanco, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
As we reported earlier this week, the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital has gone into full emergency mode. and has suspended all its outpatient and referral clinics in order to focus on the current COVID outbreak. KHMH Chairman Dr. Andra Sosa explained to News 5 today that currently the hospital has 13 diagnosed COVID patients that it is treating and 7 more who are under investigation. One of the patients is on a ventilator and 3 others are on supplemental oxygen. Notably, Sosa said that none of the persons hospitalized has taken the COVID vaccine. He added that the hospital has been in a state of readiness with human resources and medicines in order to take on the demands that more COVID cases would present.
We have a capacity of 36 COVID patients. That is with both the diagnosed COVID patients and with the persons under investigations, the so-called PUIs. So we stage the opening of areas, and we have at least 3 main areas where we can accommodate these patients. We presently have 2 of the areas in service and are ready to open a 3rd area in the event that it is necessary. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has 100,000 vaccines available. So there are lots of vaccines, there are enough vaccines for everyone, and I would beg and urge people to please go out and get vaccinated. We're asking people now to get their second jab, their second vaccine at 8 weeks. Don't wait for the 12 weeks, because with 1 jab, you are not so very well protected against the Delta variant.
If the COVID hospitalizations get worse, a concern is that there will be a shortage of nurses. Since the migration of significant number of Filipino nurses 2 months ago and the completion of the tour of duty of the Cuban Medical Brigade, the KHMH has gone ahead to source other nurses to fill the void. But as Dr. Sosa explains, a worsening COVID situation would mean the hospital will be looking to the Ministry of Health and Wellness to assist with more nurses on staff.
We have been conducting a very aggressive recruitment campaign, and we have been able to substantially make up numbers of nurses presently employed. So we have gotten 12 full-time replacements, 7 part-time replacement nurses, and we are looking to employ at least 8 more nurses by the 1st of August. Our fear is that if there's a full-blown COVID outbreak, then we would need about 20 more nurses to help us to cover all the shifts. We depend heavily on assistance and cooperation from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, which has been monitoring the situation closely. We have been able to count on good cooperation from them. In the event that we need further support in terms of numbers, we will be turning to them.
The heavy rains today and on Sunday night are typical of the rainy season. But severe weather conditions during this time can put people in life-threatening situations. Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon says while today's heavy rains that caused a power failure in some areas is already history, there's more rain ahead.
It has been caused by a tropical wave. That wave, I believe, its axis is already over the leaves. However, we do have some moisture lingering behind it, and that is going to produce some more showers and thunderstorms and lightning tonight, especially over the southern and coastal parts of the country into tomorrow. We expect improvement on Thursday through to Friday. And then another tropical wave will approach on Saturday. So as I mentioned, these occur periodically within the rainy season. At least every 3 to 4 days, you have a tropical wave crossing. And some of these waves some are stronger than others and produce more thunderstorms and lightning as we saw today.
The rains today came with lightning strikes that even affected some of the Belize Met Service's own telephone lines. Gordon advised people in the southern part of the country that as these rains continue over the weekend, they should take precautions.
We do advise residents to be on the alert for lightning. And of course, within these thunderstorms, you could have heavy downpour of showers, very localized, that can lead to flooding in flood-prone areas. So residents should also be on the alert for that. Yes, whenever we have strong thunderstorms, as what occurred today, we caution residents to stay indoor, protect yourself, try to avoid touching anything that is or that conducts electricity, and stay away from, of course, trees, because they are always a lightning attractor.
After the break, the Commissioner of Police talks racial profiling, youth crime, and police interactions with children. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
No make no sense at all. No kind of sense. That Belize video when I have that sign up there in China for.
That not in China at all, that in Spanish.
You understand what it said then?
Yeah. It said wear your face mask properly, cover your nose and your mouth.
Will help prevent the spread of COVID to others. Together we could make Belize safe.
Wear your mask properly over your mouth and nose to protect yourself and others. Together we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
time to put your TVs on lockdown. COVID won't stop us this time. After a year of waiting, Summerfest is back, pandemic style. If you're under the age of 18 and you think you have the talent, we are looking for you. Submit videos to us on Facebook, Instagram, and email. Or join us here at Channel 5 on Coney Drive to audition from July 26th to 30th from 10 a.m. to midday. Be a part of Summerfest 2021 and showbiz your talent. On Monday night, we told you the result of a racial profiling case heard in the Supreme Court. Justice Westman James handed down a decision in the court brought against the Belize Police Department by Greg Nunes and Bryden Codd, two young black men. The judge ruled that it was unconstitutional for police to take pictures of the two men during a stop and search on August 4th, 2020. The search yielded nothing and the matter was taken to court. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams responded to the matter when questioned by host of Open Your Eyes, Marlene Cuellar.
If it is that you have in a community where a certain class of people are the ones who are giving trouble, who must the police go after? Won't it be them? In places like Orange Walk, Crozal, the demographics of people giving trouble is different than Belize City. And so you'll find that in Belize City, for the most part, the young black youths the police will be interacting with. In Crozal and Orange Walk, it will be young Hispanic people. In Punta Gorda, it will be young Mayan or young black people. So it goes to the demographics of the era we're policing. And the fact that the society has become so violent to some extent, the police have to do certain things. Now, the issue with Greg Nunes and Mr. Codd, they're upstanding people. But the truth is, because of the fact that the police interact so much with people, there are going to be good people who are going to be caught up in the whole issue with police.
You are openly admitting that there is a class of people that must live under a threat, that they would be stopped and searched, not because they are involved in crime or have been involved in crime or looking to be involved in crime, but just because of how they look.
No, Marlene, you're stretching it too far. Gavin, you're a black man. Have you ever been stopped and searched by the police?
Not walking, but in driving I have actually.
Exactly. Right? So, at the end of the day, Marlene, when police are doing their work, like I said, they're going to be good people that they're going to stop, they're going to be bad people that they're going to stop.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke about the growing problem of young perpetrators of violent crimes in Belize. He called on protesters to take to these streets with the same passion when a youth is accused of murder.
While we look at this whole situation, I need the public to understand, and this is no justification, let me make that caveat one time, to understand that we're living in a society where the propensity for younger people has become so deadly, to some extent even deadlier than the older folks. When we look in society today and we see the amount of murders being committed by children, it is alarming. And the same way how we have the public and the different organizations coming out against the police for this, which I must say is good, it's the same way I would like to see the public and the other organization comes out when a child is accused of killing somebody, because when that happens, there is a serious breakdown in a home that needs to be addressed. And sending that child to prison may not be the solution, but rather to see the public comes out and try to find some alternative method to be able to address these deadly propensities of our young people. Because if we continue this way, it is going to have more and more encounters with police and young people. And that is not the way we want to go.
And while it comes after a 14-year-old boy lost his life in Placencia, allegedly at the hands of a police officer, the police department says it is about to release policy guidelines for interactions with children.
We do work very closely with UNICEF on these issues relating to children. And if it is that there are any organization out there, either the Human Rights Commission, the NCFC, even if the NTUCB, Any organization that wants to join us to look at these policies to see how we can make it better, I welcome it.
I'm happy to say that soon to be released to the department is a policy on a child interaction policy that we have been working on, that we recognize that at different levels, police officers are interacting with children. There are occasions when a child is a victim of a crime, and that is one type of interaction. There is an interaction with the child when the child is a witness to a crime. And then there is those interactions at school, where our community policing officers interact with children at school. And there will be those occasions when the police interacting with a child who is a suspect in a crime. So we recognize that we need to then look at that overall child interaction policy, yes. And that is where we are.
Charges have been filed against 2 police officers following a beating of a man in custody that was captured on video. Police say that Wilton Justin Montero and Jerome Emmanuel Ingram, both officers attached to Santa Elena town, have been charged jointly with 1 count of harm. The charges arise from a report filed by David Thomas Small, who alleged he was assaulted by 2 officers while in handcuffs on July 4th. Just ahead, the UDP says no one asked them about the new justices for the Court of Appeal. At least they never got the email in time. Find out what went wrong when we return.
Good morning, sweetie. It's time for school.
Are you a teacher or public sector employee who is thinking of owning your new home? Get the keys to your new home with Belize Bank's all-inclusive mortgage, the best financing option in Belize for your new home purchase or construction. Inclusive of all mortgage-related fees, no down payment, affordable terms, amazingly low interest rates. Visit our nearest branch to speak to one of our financial advisors to discuss how you can be one step closer to owning your new home. Some conditions apply.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Una Fuels, powered with Dynamax. Una, a brand committed with the future.
Smart continues to expand its internet coverage countrywide to help you live a smarter life.
Our villagers are very happy. They are pleased to know that Smart went the extra mile to put a tower in our village so that our villagers can get live stream on their TVs and they can get their kids doing their online classes. I want to say to Smart, thank you for making it possible for us to get internet in Gardenia Village. We really do appreciate it.
Smart continues to take the internet and mobile services to communities across Belize. Now save even more when you bundle your Smart broadband with Smart mobile services. Smart, bringing people together.
Introducing Edam A cheese, the A+ Dutch cheese to hit the Belizean market. As the name says, it is of A-class quality, the best Dutch cheese in Belize. Edam A cheese is creamier, less salty, and simply more delicious. Don't be left out. Get your A cheese at a supermarket near you. A cheese exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited. Call us at 610-3626 or 610-8910. Follow us on Facebook at Unitex Belize.
Why should you wear your mask? To protect myself. My friends, my family, and others. I wear my mask because I love my grandparents. With so many reasons to wear a mask, we continue to advise persons to wear a face mask properly, covering both nose and mouth. Together, we can keep Belize COVID-19 safe.
2020 taught us the importance of being connected to the virtual world, and NextGen is here to keep its commitment to you. Even if you're physically apart, NextGen keeps you digitally connected.
Okay, everyone, thank you for following me today.
NextGen provides more than just an internet plan. They provide service plans that support all your online needs. Sign up today and get your NextGen's ultra high-speed internet service. NextGen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
Last week, we reported on the appointment of 3 new justices for the Court of Appeal. But tonight, the opposition is challenging the way the government went about making these appointments. Today, Chairman of the UDP, Senator Michael Parafit, spoke with the press via Zoom to say that the formal process of consultation was not carried out. Parafit says he didn't even know the swearing-in was happening until he saw it on the news.
I found it very strange because usually the leader of the opposition would bring these matters to the party leadership whenever we are talking about appointing people to the advisory council, to the Court of Appeal and the like. That hadn't come. I then called Honorable Shine-Barrow, who is the current leader of the opposition, and past leader of the opposition, Patrick Farber. And they both indicated to me that the usual consultation process did not take place in this instance that they know. They would know that they would get a call from the cabinet secretary and he would inform them that an email was sent to them and that they would appreciate our responses to it very quickly. Or they would ask us right on the phone whether or not we would have any objection. If it's a small issue, then there's no objection. But on a matter such as the appointment of Court of Appeal justices, matters like that, usually there will be a call. But when I spoke to them, they said they received no such call from the CABSEC, the Prime Minister's office, no such hardcover letter, and they would check again to see whether or not they received any emails of any kind. So, as it turns out, an email was sent to the Honorable Patrick Farber on June 21st. It went to his junk mail, and that email contained a letter that was signed on June 7th. So 2 weeks after a letter is signed by the CABSEC, the Office of the Prime Minister, it is emailed to the leader of the opposition at the time, Patrick Farber. No follow-up phone call, no alert, no hard copy was sent, or at least we haven't received any. And on that basis, 3 justices of appeal were appointed to the court. One can say that we can't say that they didn't send us an email. However, I don't think that with at least doing an alert or not hearing from us, you would at least not call to see if there would be a response, which is usually the case. That not having happened, then we think that the consultation process, to put it mildly, is very weak at best.
Parafit says that the routine should be for the opposition to receive copies of CVs, but those weren't included this time around on that single email that was sent. While in opposition, the UDP agitated for Chief Justice Manuel Sosa to be removed back in 1998. One of reasons given was that the consultation process wasn't meaningful. So, will the UDP challenge these Court of Appeal appointments, considering that they are not satisfied with the consultation process of the Briceño administration?
We're not ruling out anything, but we're not saying that for sure. Had there not been a letter at all, then for sure the United Democratic Party was going to challenge that. But there being a letter, it was sent. Then we have to consider our options. But indeed, what I would want the government to say is why in this instance was it not done the way it always is done, in the sense that there is a clear attempt to get the input of the opposition whenever the Prime Minister needs to make an appointment that requires consultation with the leader of the opposition. All these appointments that are done, that in my subjective opinion, are far less important than Court of Appeal judges. Great steps are taken to make sure that we are consulted, and for us to make sure, for them to make sure that we know of the requests. Why in this case none of that was done when you're talking about the second highest court in the land?
Senator Michael Parafit was asked if he believes there is any connection between the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and Belize's proposed 11th Amendment.
Indeed, UNCAC talks about raising the bar for a number of different things. But UNCAC's main thrust was transparency and fullness and frankness. And no convention, in my view, can override the fundamental principle of our criminal justice system, which is reform. You know, when the Honorable Shine Barrow put his name down to be elected for Mesopotamia, the people of Mesopotamia knew he had spent 10 years in prison. You know. This is a matter where the people knew the circumstances of the candidates that they had to choose from, and the people said, we believe that a person can reform, we believe that a person can change, and a person can serve us. And the will of the people of Mesopotamia has Shine Barrow there. And even though the Constitution is the supreme law, I don't think that it is more supreme than the will of the people. And what you're telling people is that there is no reform for a person who has spent more than a year in prison. If I do something regrettable at 19 years old and at 45 years old, I'm a changed person, I can do anything within the society except represent the people. It is ridiculous. And even though UNCAC talks about raising the bar on so many things, it definitely did not go so far as to say that anybody with any criminal record or who has spent a certain amount of years in prison cannot run for office. So I am not aware that any major nation per se has a rule where if you have spent more than 1 year in jail, you cannot run for office again. I think as long as that is disclosed, people know that you have a record, and people can decide if they want to believe that you have reformed or not. But I don't think that any document or any convention or any UN charter makes no provision for reform.
In education news, the University of Belize announced today the appointment of 3 faculty deans. Dr. Vincent Palacio will head the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, Dr. Nadine Tun, the Faculty of Education and Arts, and Dr. Charlene Enriquez Savory, the Faculty of Science and Technology. According to a release from the Office of the President, the appointments were confirmed by the UB Board of Trustees and came from recommendations of the Acting Human Resources Director, the relevant search committees chaired by the Vice President and the President. The deans will serve for a period of 5 years, effective August 1st. Just ahead, a fresh new look for the Mountain Pine Ridge Reserve. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800-A-WAY-OUT or our cell phone number, 672-9628. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission in collaboration with Miss Universe Belize with funding from the Engender and Spotlight Project.
Why, Tony?
Why, kid, what you going on, man?
I'm actually going to see you because I need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups for my grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing things since April 15th, you know. And I just routed the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
The Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management has just completed rehabilitation works at the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. And now they want Belizeans to take ownership and help with the upkeep. News 5 was there for the unveiling of the new facilities.
The Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve spans 300 square miles. It's known for its highest point, Baldy Beacon, as well as waterfalls, steep ridges, and nature trails. But this reserve is also under pressure. Forest fires, illicit activities, illegal entry go largely unfettered in this natural reserve. But the Forest Department wants to change that, and so they're stepping up their presence and strengthening how they respond to these challenges.
We have had a lot of incursions in the area. On occasions you have forest fires, and we have to do that type of monitoring. This area is very important, as you know, not only because of the forest area, but also because it is an important headwater for the waters that flow into several of our rivers, including the Roaring River. On occasions, we see and have witnessed people coming up into the area without any permission, and so this will serve as a monitoring area for that type of presence in the area. But additionally, during the times when we have forest fires, our foresters and firefighters are tired and they need a resting area. So this will give them some place to come and have their rest area. Important for the other areas is that we cannot have monitoring of all these sustainable forest areas if we don't have our people, the personnel, in good accommodation. This will give them an incentive to do the job the right way.
Through the Selva Maya project, they have implemented a number of upgrades to the facilities in the reserve, like the rehabilitation of this ranger station at Kumakarn. Forest officer and national liaison officer of this project, Yanira Pop, says that for just under $50,000, they were able to renovate an old building and transform it into a functional and strategic base for rangers to patrol on rotation.
Here at the Kumakarn Forest Ranger Station, we rehabilitated the house that we have to the back, which is the ranger station. We divided the area in two because we are planning to have patrols in the area. So nowadays we have males and females working in the area. So we did a division. There can be placed beds, mattresses in there. We rehabilitated with some amenities such as a kitchenette, stove. We will also have the installation of the solar system. So that will actually enhance the use of this area. We didn't have any restroom facilities, so the project went ahead and we have to the back a shower for the staff to bathe as well as restroom.
The project has also provided for the rehabilitation of the rangers' quarters at the entrance of the Mountain Pine Ridge Reserve. In addition, they've also rehabilitated restroom facilities for visitors as well as the Forest Department's office in San Ignacio.
All of these three important rehabilitations here at the Mountain Pine Ridge have been made with the objective to enhance our management effectiveness and also to meet the current new projects that are being done at the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. The Forest Department has also made other rehabilitation projects. We have this rehabilitation of the San Ignacio Forest Office. That is a very key office. It is a central location for the management of not only the Chiqui Bull Complex, but also of the Vaca Forest Reserve.
It's a big investment and a lot of work is going into the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. And Minister of Sustainable Development, Orlando Habet, says that in order to maintain these facilities and support the enhancement of the site, they will be implementing a fee system at the gate.
The Pine Ridge Gate is an important area because that is where we'll be able to monitor and have account of the number of persons that come in to visit and to also stop the illegal entry, because many times we have people that would come in to do illegal activities, including hunting. So that will give us a presence. But additionally, part of the reason for the gate is that because of all the amenities, because of all the natural facilities that we have, for the enjoyment of the public and of our tourists, but it will need maintenance. And so we will have to put a fee system in place where people have to pay a small fee as a contribution to the management of the entire system.
Deputy Chief Forest Officer John Pinello Jr. says that these upgrades will be complemented with a second round of rehabilitative works under Phase 2 of the Selva Maya project, which will see more than $3 million invested across the priority areas defined in the project. And more measures will be implemented for the public to help maintain the integrity of the sites inside the reserve.
That money will be used to continue the expansion that we're doing here. The tower that you see behind us will probably be renovated in Phase 2. We will try and expand this building a bit more so we have more room for more people. We are in the process of working with the FCD to help us with the monitoring, so they will have a presence here as well. That is with this area. The second part will also, we're looking to see if we can build the headquarters for the office for Forestry Department. We're in a really old wooden building, and so hopefully that can materialize in the second phase. We will also do a lot of the other renovations in the different areas around the Panujito Gate. Douglas De Silva needs a new headquarters. So those are the things we will use the money for. Building our capacity, building our infrastructure so that our staff can be comfortable wherever they are working. The development of tourism in the Mountain Pine Ridge, we will be doing a lot of rotation for our staff at Rio On, Rio Frio, at the gate, here in other areas in the Mountain Pine Ridge where we will have more tourism activities going on. So we will need more presence from the department as a regulatory body to make sure that everybody is safe, everybody is enjoying themselves, but they're following the rules, no fires. If you bring garbage in, you take it out. That will be something that we will strictly enforce in the Mountain Pine Ridge. We're also discussing the possibility of bringing in containers with liquid that you take out back. We won't allow plastic bottles, plastic bags, because those are the things that build up as garbage. And we want to try and get in line with the single-use plastic ban.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
As part of the tourism development plan in the area, concession licenses will be offered to vendors to provide tourism goods and services in the tourist sites in the Mountain Pine Ridge. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.